It's the sexiest man that walked into this earth and the biggest star that's gonna shine on here. You already know who we are. It's your boy All-Star Izzy. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into this conversation. This is like an important announcement. Something that I've been talking about a lot before, but if you're not hip, you're learning more, and you want to learn more to get good with women and everything that comes with that into that type of lifestyle, you're gonna want to listen to this ASAP. I got a very important video that I put out a year ago that's called Every Player's Power is Privacy. But now I gotta make another video as to why players need to be low-key with themselves in life, whether you're a bachelor. And what I mean by being player, I mean just by being good with women. You know how to have sex on the first night. You got women that's obsessing over you. They want to get with you, text messages, they slide in your DM, all that type of stuff, right? You're living a different type of lifestyle than the average man, and most guys don't really experience that. You're gonna have guys who project their negativity onto you, and this goes with anybody who's authentic, living their lifestyle the way they want to. A guy who breaks the rules. See, the bad boys, the ones who have autonomy and think outside the box, you always have people that's going to project stuff on you. So it doesn't have to be in the case with women, but of course we're going to wrap this into dating. So in this aspect, you're going to have guys who project their negativity onto you. Well, you need to heal. You don't got to treat women this way. You got to be like this. You don't got to always have sex on the first night. See, this is where the self-assuredness comes into the man who is dealing with all these women, because you know that in the grand scheme of things, you're just feeling some type of way because you don't get the results that I have, and you want that, and you're envious about it. Now, the thing is, when it comes to these projectors, right, it's important to know that you're not what they're really saying. They just will be envious of what you do. And two, on the good side of a lot of the projectors that feel some type of way, because some of them could be out loud about it and some of them could be quiet about it. But regardless of how it goes, they're promoting you in a sense, because I talked about how you can let losers to promote you for women to want to fuck you, which happens a lot of the time. But it's good to keep it low key because, listen, all press is good press. You want to make sure that you keep it to yourself, because there are some men that will really go out their way to try to destroy your reputation, your image. They will try to make you seem worse than what really is, right? Because if you're an honest man doing what you're doing, then that's one thing. But they will make it dramatic. They will feel some type of way, especially, and I've had this happen to me, but not on an extreme level, but especially if they want to fuck on the girl who wants to fuck on you, right? I fucked women that all the guys wanted, and I kept it quiet. I never told nobody about it. But the thing is, they were always skeptical. They would talk about it. They would ask me, oh, I see you guys getting so close. And I'd be like, nah, that's just X, Y, and Z. That's the homegirl, whatever the case is. But they only get like that just so they can figure it out and try to boast or try to say something about it, trying to find out the juice, whatever. But these are also the projectors. Now, on another part, too, is that why players, men that are good with women, need to keep it low key is because you need to stay away from men who are in detrimental relationships. So what I mean by that is that guys who get in relationships where it's been years, months, weeks, it doesn't matter, but they're in a relationship to where they're not the leader, they're disrespected, they're seen as a simp, and the woman chose them to settle with them. So what this does, right, is because he becomes envious of what you have, and he tries to mimic what you got going on, which ends up fucking up his relationship. And another side to that, and this happened to me recently, is that if you give a cuffed guy advice, which I actually give him a warning. I'll tell you, listen, I can give you the advice, but just know your relationship, probably 80% will end up failing because you're not this guy that's gonna keep up with it. Okay, so I gave him the advice. He takes the advice. It happens. She goes around. She tells him, why are you acting this way? You seem like you're a brand new person. Who you hanging with, type of thing. He comes back and he tells me him and I part ways, right? And we were never necessarily friends, but it was more the thing because when you're around guys who are cuffed in those type of detrimental relationships, they will feel some type of way for you. And they will want you to feel some type of way for them on an empathetic level and be like, can you save me? Can you help me? And they will complain all the fucking time. Why do you need to stay low key when it comes to those type of people? Is because your energy needs to be protected and your peace is important. Another side to that, let's say he does tell the woman, and I've had this happen. I've had women that's been in relationships and their boyfriends do not uphold a certain scale. They're not that dominant man that they actually really want. They will try to go on breaks with the boyfriend so they can fuck you, but then go back to the boyfriend. I had to cut some women off who wanted to do that because I was like, this is not what we need to do. You need to stay where you're at. I'm not going to be that guy for you unless you pay me maybe like $1,000, and that's one thing. But anyways, and the final reason as to why you need to stay low key as a player or a man who is good with women, because Privacy is every player's power. Keeping your cards to yourself, living the life that you want to live in, and doing things for you. And if you do to other people, it has to be a sacred circle of guys who truly are secure and who have a very same rotation of women, different women, but they're doing the same thing on their terms, because every man is different. But the thing is that you can't be with someone who is negative and pessimistic about certain stuff, because if they're doing that about themselves, guess what they were going to say about you? You don't want to gossip about your bullshit to people who don't even know how to handle themselves, better yet with women. So they're going to tell them, yes, they can promote it, but it's sloppy on your end to trust a man who doesn't trust himself. That's why he gets in these relationships. Or that's why when he tries to get advice from you, he tries to mimic you. Now, there's nothing wrong with having admiration. I had men in person before that I gave advice out to, and then I was assisting, but they kept trying to mimic everything that I was doing. And I told them, I was like, and it wasn't no type of way, but I told them, I was like, listen, you need to develop your own style. You can take with what I take, but you need to develop your own style. Otherwise, it's not going to help. Because what this also does, it gets dangerous if they don't find who they are within the progression. But it gets dangerous because then they start to stalk. They start to try to find out what you wear, what you like. And these are men, what I'm talking about, right? Because the men will feel like, oh, this is the way I need to be, and I need to be like him, but I'm truly envious of him and I want his position. And guys can get a little crazy. And on the other side with women, it's a very interesting dynamic, because there can be some hate or some negativity on that end, but it's not necessarily that. They really secretly desire you and want you.